Let's explore what the Bible says about divorce, a topic that affects many lives and often sparks intense discussions in religious communities. The Bible's teachings on divorce are both complex and compassionate. While marriage is considered sacred, a lifelong covenant between two people and God, the Scriptures acknowledge that we live in an imperfect world where relationships can break down. In the Old Testament, we find the first mentions of divorce in Deuteronomy, where Moses permitted divorce certificates. However, Jesus later explained in the New Testament that this was allowed because of the hardness of people's hearts, not because it was God's original plan. Jesus addressed divorce most directly in Matthew 19, saying, "What God has joined together, let no one separate." He emphasized that God's ideal is for marriage to be permanent. However, he also acknowledged that in cases of adultery, divorce might be permitted, showing that God understands human suffering and provides mercy in devastating situations. The Apostle Paul added another perspective in 1 Corinthians 7, addressing situations where one spouse is a believer and the other isn't. He taught that if the unbelieving spouse wants to leave, the believer is not bound in such circumstances, again showing God's compassion for complex situations. What's particularly striking is how the Bible balances upholding the sanctity of marriage while showing compassion for those in difficult situations. It reminds us that while divorce isn't God's ideal plan, He doesn't condemn those who've experienced it. Instead, we see countless examples of God's grace, healing, and restoration for those who've gone through divorce. Whether you're considering divorce, have experienced it, or are supporting someone who has, remember that God's love and grace are bigger than any life circumstance. The Bible encourages us to approach this sensitive topic with both truth and compassion, understanding that each situation is unique and deserves careful consideration. Remember, God's ultimate message is one of hope and restoration, no matter what challenges we face in our relationships.